Good morning and welcome to your Drag and Drive news, the first of 2023. I'm so excited to be here, guys. Listen, it has been an absolutely crazy week. It blows my mind what we have accomplished this week. But first, let's jump into the intro and then we'll get right into some news. Now, when I say lots of great things happened this week, I want you guys to understand I can't talk about a lot of them, but I can talk about a few. But guys, 2023 is going to be absolutely insane if it started off the week like we had this week. Crazy. I had so many cool phone conversations, so many cool text messages, and talked to a ton of different people about a lot of different stuff. The most recent thing that happened that was probably one of the coolest that we've seen so far is David Freiberger grabbed the list of events that I have put together, that we put together here at dragonDrive.com, and shared that and asked if it was over, if the market was oversaturated. Well, I'll tell you this much. I read every comment that was on it as of last night about 1 a.m. There's more than 300 comments or 400 comments on Facebook and 250-ish comments on Instagram. I've read every single one. I've liked most of them and I've commented to a lot of them as well. I want to say the overwhelming feeling in those comments is that the market is not oversaturated with drag and drive events. With everything selling out, this is basically what everybody said. If they're selling out, they're not oversaturated. Now, there are some things we talked about the other night on the Monday Morning Racer and on the Drag and Drive show on Wednesday night with Eric about how promoters are going to have to step up their game. They're going to have to offer these guys, these new people, a better experience than just hosting a drag and drive event. So, anyways, there's a lot of that topic coming. I'm putting together an entire, what will probably take us 20 or 30 minutes on the Drag and Drive show on Wednesday night. That's not really a format for this episode, but I will say I do want to talk to a couple of the different promoters throughout the week. Probably record 3 or 4 minutes with each of them that I can work in and have a conversation, see what they think, see what they're doing differently than other events are to take care of their racers, which we know that's the way to do it. All right. So currently there are more than 650 comments. We talked about that. Sorry. And then I'm going to pull up the map real quick here because I want to show you guys something because this is a big deal with, let's see, because everybody was talking about oh man, there's so many. Well, when you look at a list of 20, you actually see that there's a problem there. You're like, oh my gosh, that's so many events. But if you look at the events here, there's still huge areas of the country that are not, that don't have a drag and drive event yet. What you will notice is a new blue dot down there by Phoenix. Yes, there is an event that's coming. It is King of the Open Road. Jared made a comment the other night that they are working on something for Tucson, but I'm not going to give out any more information until I have it directly from him in my hand. So I've added the star there. He did say Tucson for a King of the Open Road event. So if you are not following them, you need to King of the Open Road. So it's exciting. So that makes 21 events for 2023 so far. But guys, look at the swath of area of the country. There's nothing in Mississippi, nothing in Arkansas, nothing in Alabama, nothing in Georgia, except for a stop from at South Georgia Motorsports Park in February. So here's what else you have to think of too. Once you start looking at, like, this map looks very, very busy, but the star in the bottom right is Sick Week in February. The star at Las Vegas is in November. I really wish I had the ability, and if someone out here does, reach out to me. I would pay you for your time to where we could see the flashes of stars as they are happening throughout the year, because there's never more than one event going on at one time. So we're working on what we're calling the Triple Crown, which is going to be the circuit, which is in Joplin, Missouri at MoKan. We're going to have Cruise and Lose in Lincoln, Nebraska, and then we're going to have King of the Open Road in May. So those 3 events are the closest regional and closest in time. So as we add those 3, we're gonna give someone a crown and maybe some money. So I'm working out the rules with that, but you'll have to finish all 3 events and be the fastest. So we'll see how many people we can actually get to enter more than one event. So that's exciting. I love that kind of stuff. The triple crown, all the extra interesting trophies and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I'm going to update this in the post on dragondrive.com. You can find it under the blog page on there, and then I'll move it to the top and pin it. That way, as new events come or events fall off, we can move them around. I will say there is an event that I'm working on that is well, I'm not even going to tell you, but later in the year. Okay, perfect. So that gets us through the David Freiberger conversation. I'm so excited to see the overwhelming positivity from his post. One other cool thing is obviously he tagged us, so we are, hopefully going to get some residual follows from that. There are a lot of people in there that didn't know about most of these events. So I hope what we have worked on hard here and with the shares you guys have given, it allows that many more people to come into the community. All right, let's jump into comments, see if anybody's talking over here. Oh man, 13 comments, guys. What is up this morning? I know this is live, and I said I was going to do a big, a recorded show, but I didn't have time this week because I was on Monday Morning Racer. We got Ken White from the UK. Man, we got folks here all over the place. Yeah, Rich Guido, what's up, bud? I love the newest Clutch Burner podcast. You guys are hilarious. If you haven't watched their stuff, you guys have to go over and do that. Give him birthday congratulations or salutations, I guess. 815 LSX Swaps, my co-host for Dragon Drive Show. And then, hey, we got Turlo's Garage. What is up this morning? All right, guys, man, everybody's coming in here saying good morning. Yes, here we go, right here. The growth of the Dragon Drive will spur changes in the tracks to reflect the changes in racing. I like that a lot. And I will say one interesting topic that we had from the Wednesday night show is that we have more than 60 tracks. Well, now 60, well, more than 60 will be visited by Dragon Drive events in 2023. That's 60 unique tracks. I don't think we have any overlapping tracks except for Carolina Drag Cruise and Southeast Street Meet, and they only have one overlap, maybe 2. So they're in different times of the country. So I've actually taken those out. So we have more than 60 individual tracks that will be visited during 2023 because of Dragon Drive events. So that's exciting. We got folks from Honduras in here. Good morning. Oh yeah, and then Colt Beck, this guy right here, y'all, has is presenting a great award at the circuit. First broke gets their money back, the entry back, and gets entry into King of the Open Road in May. So you have time to go home, fix your stuff, and bring it back. So if you do not follow Send It Race Media, you need to do that right now. I'm putting it in the comments. Didn't spell that very well, but anyways, Send It Race Media, you need to go on and follow their channel. Tons of fun stuff happening over there. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, guys. Again, we are talking about stuff that happened this week that is big that I can talk about. Luke B from Howard's Cams made a comment on one of the Instagram posts. I took that and reshared it. They were looking for Dragon Drive cars, obviously with Dragon Drive becoming so popular and the abuse that these engines take. Anytime a valve train company can get involved, that's a good thing. They want to be. Luke is building a car for Dragon Drive. He is a longtime Dragon Drive fan, and he has been on several different ones as a co-pilot. So he's building his own car. So he works within their sales and tech division. So he made a comment on one of the posts. I shared it out. It looks like there are a ton of people that are now working with Howard's Cams. Dave Teresi actually has a Howard's Cam rocker set on one of the engines that he's bringing, I think, to Sick Week. So, and Luke was saying that there are lifetime warranties on the rocker arms. So that's pretty good for us drag and drive guys that are going to put, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 miles on a vehicle over the year to do these drag and drive events and just drive and get ice cream and do burnouts and stuff like that. Him and I actually talked on the phone for probably about 30 minutes, guys. He is eat up with drag and drive almost as much as I am. So that's a huge plus. He's building a turbo small block Ford, which seems counterintuitive now, but it's going to be very fast. It is a stick shift, which will make Rich and Bill very happy. And it's small tire. He's looking high eights to come out with a stock bottom end small block Ford while he builds his big setup. And that thing should be pretty crazy. These are the kind of organic things that I like to see come together, because this is literally a fan of the drag and drive community, not just dragandrive.com. Literally a fan of the community that is involved in a manufacturer that can change equipment. They can take what we tell them that is breaking, or that we need a better, I don't want to talk about what him and I talked about, but let's just say lobe design is a big thing in valve train technology within the drag and drive community because of the abuse that these cars take and the mileage that they're going to drive and things like that. So these guys are thinking about all that kind of stuff, and that's why they want to get their hands on stuff. Kevin Waltman actually commented and said, "Hey, I have a car that you can use for 6, 8, 10 months, a year, maybe, to develop parts for. So it is a better drag and drive car." That's, man, I'm telling you, that is amazing to me. I love when stuff like this comes together. Let's jump back to the comments. Okay. Oh, man. Yep. Looks like we got a lot of stuff going on here. I don't know what we got going on here. Hang on. Sorry. I got to delete a comment somebody trying to spam us. What's a rocker arm? And then Old Man's Garage wants to do a drag and drive event with a shootout format. That would be interesting as well. Yes, that we had that conversation. Actually, Matt Lang has been trying to talk to Bill Hoskinson for a while about helping him put on a drag and drive event like that. And Bill hasn't gotten back to him yet. So we're going to keep pushing that button. I think the struggle with, you either have to have a small number. So let's talk about this. If you're going to run a full shootout, you can't run a full shootout every day. So how do you break down your brackets? How many cars do you let in? I mean, can you imagine trying to run what Rocky Mountain Race Week does on Friday every day of the week? So it just doesn't make sense that way. Anyways, we'll see what comes of that. I hope that they can work something out. That part of the country obviously is underutilized this year. They are kind of in that, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania area. So there's not a lot of events that are in, what we would call the Midwest, except for Six Summer. And we all know that it sold out in about 4 minutes. So we have 5 weeks until Sick Week. So get excited about that. I'm going to be down there. I won't talk about that yet. We've partnered with, this is another thing that happened this week. Well, it happened 2 weeks ago, but they made the news this week. We've partnered with racingjunk.com as our official buy, sell, trade partner. With this agreement, they're adding a drag and drive to their partner page, which is really awesome because it should bring us some more interest. And then they're putting drag and drive news in their updated newsletters that they send out. They won't put it in every week, but we should see at least maybe once every few months. I'll provide a updated stats, updated information to them for the newsletter that hopefully will go out to more than 300,000 racing interested parties. So I think it allows us to grow in a great way. So if you do not play on racingjunk.com classifieds, you need to do that. We have a tab right on the dragandrive.com page, right in the front, takes you to the classifieds right out of the gate, gets you over there. I'm telling you, I think the setup they have, because you can actually search from where you're at in a radius, I think that'll be really neat to look if people are looking for parts as they're broken down within a drag and drive event, because then you're not trying to find somebody, you're not on Facebook Marketplace searching, you can physically go to racingjunk.com, pull up, hey, I need a turbo 400, and it'll show you the ones within 100 miles of you or whatever, or 50 miles or however small you want to go. So I think it just gives us one more opportunity to finish an event, but also it gives us a great partner that we don't want to manage a buy sell trade Facebook page or group. That is complete brain damage. So they will handle all of that kind of stuff for us. And anytime somebody wants to sell something or buy something or trade, we will just always send you to racingjunk.com for their classified. So that's exciting. Let's move on. Oh, we talked Thursday night with the Monday Morning Racer, Darren Williams Jr., Lee Kraft of Monday Morning Racer, Darren Williams Jr. of Competition Plus and American Hot Rod Entertainment, and then Casey from Going Bracket Racing. Guys, if you haven't watched that episode, jump over. It's about the 2023 season, and I'll tell you this much. There were a lot of questions from Casey at Going Bracket Racing about Drag and Drive, and I really feel like the bracket racing community hasn't adopted Drag and Drive yet. And I really feel like some of it is because they just don't know that the index classes are there. Now, I know we have a lot of bracket racers that are within our setup, but what I didn't know, which is really neat about this, is there are several $1 million races for bracket racing. It blew my mind. There's like $4 million people could win this year just in payouts from bracket races across the country. So I thought that was really cool. Going Bracket Racing is their channel, and they cover a ton of that stuff. They're kind of like us in the bracket racing world, which is really neat. And the bracket racing world is a lot larger than what we are, than the Drag and Drive community. But I will tell you what I think was really eye-opening for me. One was the money payouts, but then two, I had not even thought about attending a bracket race for promotion of Drag and Drive. So that's on my list as well for this year if I can fit it in. And there are some that are close enough. Guys, we're going to be so busy this year keeping up with all of the data, all of the stats and things like that. But I'm going to make time to go out to some of these bracket races because those racers could absolutely dominate the index classes of these events. So thank you for Monday Morning Racer for letting me be on the other day. I appreciate that. And then we got Ken talking about great seeing Racing Junk involved. My friends who bought the Volvo Coupe for Sick Week had a real touch buying a Drag and Drive ready car with trailer tools. That's so cool. Yeah, there are a lot of big money bracket races. It blew my mind. And then huge respect for the 850 guys. That class is insane. Yes, 100%. You know, I love the 850 class, the street race class. I'll tell you this. I was discussing with a few different people yesterday about some people to follow at Sick Week, because that's kind of my goal, is to get content of everything, but really focus on 10 to 14 different race cars and the teams. So we were going through getting a list of what we think I should follow, what stories to tell and things like that. So we're going to run the gamut from really fast cars to slow cars, and we're going to visit with those racers every day. We're going to talk to them, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, here we go. Problem is that bracket racers, I know, probably don't want to work on their cars that much. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things about Drag and Drive. So, all right, let's jump in here. Yes. Do you need me to put my GoPros in my car for the footage? Yes, we're going to have. I'm buying another GoPro, and my brother Steven has another GoPro, so we'll have three GoPros with me. Well, let's jump into my Sick Week stuff. So Eric from Destroyer 1320 just told me the other day, actually yesterday, that he's coming with me. So it's exciting. So we've rented a minivan. We're going to go crazy for Sick Week. He's got a drone. He's got a still shot camera. He's got all kinds of, he's got GoPros, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to have a lot of opportunity to grab a lot of different angles, a lot of different content, and not have to be in the middle of everything. I have submitted my media pass to Luke and the team at Sick the Mag. So hopefully I can get the media pass. If not, I'm still coming. I just won't be able to get maybe down in the middle of the lanes. I don't know. So we're coming. We are gonna document Sick Week. I'm so excited. This is the event. We come off of September really, and then we don't have anything until February. So it's going to be pretty wild. I think people have had time to build their car and to put it back together, because in 2021, with the announcement of Sick Week in October, people really didn't have time to do the end of the year thrash, end of the year, rest, lay down, get comfortable, all that kind of stuff. I see 815 is asking, minivan, how many seats? Dude, it's going to fit 7, but we're going to fold the seats down because we're going to be laying down. We're going to be opening the side door on 1320, some of these rolling shots and things like that. You're more than welcome to come with us if you want to. We fly in on the 12th, and then we're flying out on the 18th. So, but Sick Week is going to be, there should be 2 of us running around all the time, trying to talk to people, and again, follow along with 10 to 14 racers. I don't know what that number is going to be yet, and who the racers are yet, but I will say we are definitely interested in the 750 class, the 850 class, and then the SME stuff comes from that, and we'll find some interesting, unique stuff. I don't have the list, obviously, of registered entrants, so once I can get my hands on who is going to be there, which I'll dig through some of the Sick the Mag posts, Sick the Mag Facebook posts, then we'll figure out who we need to talk to and things like that. So I'm excited about Eric being there with us, or with me. It's going to be really a good time. And then that, I think, will help us springboard into the 2023 season, because from there we go, into April with the circuit. Well, actually first with Southeast Street Meet, which I'm trying to work out if I can take the time that close together. The Southeast Street Meet, I think, would be a lot of fun because there's some really fast cars that are coming to it. And then the circuit in April, and then Cruise and Lose the next weekend. So it's April 14th is the circuit. April 21st is Cruise and Lose. And then sometime early May is the King of the Open Road May event. All right. Here we go. Oh, sorry. I have a Facebook user here. Again, when you see Facebook user, that means that you're typically on the Drag and Drive Addiction Facebook group. So you can jump in and give StreamYard permission if you open up the description down below. As a bracket racer that is low budget, I wish I had a way to be competitive somewhere. I drove my stock late model Mustang along as a yard sale for Hot Rod Drag Week. But it was just the experience for me. Yep. I'm also not mechanically inclined, so building a car is out of the question. The thing is, with a late model Mustang, you really don't have to do much work on that car if you're not running it at the ragged edge. And if you don't have much mechanical ability, that means you're not running it at the ragged edge. So that means you are worried about consistency, which is where events like Sick the Mags, DYO, dial your own index, comes into play for these bracket racers. And the SME class, I feel like, is the same way. And then they have a shootout at the end. There's a lot of really neat stuff that's happening within the drag and drive community that you don't have to have a 8 or 9 or low 10-second car to be competitive in something. You can actually have a consistent car and be competitive. Like at the circuit, we call it the U versus U, which is a DYO basically class. You'll set your index day 1, and you try and run 4 passes as close to that. So that's really neat. Let's see, we got folks tagging Brian Anders in the, yep. So in the back there. Oh, yes, perfect. Tommy Dupree, my boy, right here, Summit Racing. Parts Coach will be following along this year. Y'all, I'm telling you, these dudes put in work. Me and Tommy and some other folks from Summit were emailing the other day, and it was all kinds of hours at night, and they were reading them and replying. They are such a great company to deal with. And the drag and drive community, you can't get a better spot. Guys, they have warehouses all over the country, and they attend these events with parts in the truck. So support the people that support the drag and drive community. SummitRacing.com. Let's see. Yeah. What's the fun of a drag and drive if you're not rushing beforehand? Let's talk about this for a second, and then I'm fixing to bounce. Guys, please have time to test your car. The one benefit of having so many events is that you can maybe miss this one event if your car's not ready. There's so many struggles that come along. Brian Havlick is a great example. Rich comes in late. They get there, they get the car back together. They take it, they make it like 2 or 3 days on the event. Y'all, it's so hard to thrash on something and be not tested and then break. One, because you're already tired, and two, because you just don't have the willpower to work on it anymore because you've slept 3 hours a night for the last 3 weeks. I mean, just be really, really careful with all of that. So let's see. Let's pray for nice weather. Oh man, Rich Guido, 3,000-mile cruise, putting the snow tires on, coming south, baby. I hope I can maybe squeeze into the back seat of that car at some point during the week. That's what'll be nice about having an extra person is I was going to have to bounce around throughout the week in cars and carry all my stuff. But with Eric there, maybe Eric can ride with some folks while I drive the van. Then I can ride with some folks while Eric drives the van. So, oh man, here we go. You can always tell who didn't take it seriously when it's on the trailer after the first day. Oof, that's a hard one. That is a hard one. And then Kevin Waltman, and we'll get into some last minute stuff here, and then I'll get out of here. Test. What is Test? Came in second last year and literally finished the car the day before. Yep, I had no idea what it would run. That's pretty funny. That's funny. And then one of our favorite people here, Hargett Automotive and Performance, Brent Sinclair, no testing before Midwest Drags, most aborted passes ever. Listen, there are so many videos that I didn't put up of him in the Brent Sinclair video on YouTube. Poor guy, it would be out about 60 feet and just blow the tires off. So, all right, guys, last one here, I promise, and then we're moving on. I can't look at the comments. You guys you're chatting too much. I love it. The first time you go on a drag and drive is the test. Then you finish with a long list of things to improve. Now, here's what I will say about that. That is what's cool about having a car for a while is because you can actually take that car. You attempt your first one, say you don't make it, or say you make it and it's slower than you wanted. Then you go back home and you update stuff, you fix stuff, you upgrade, you make things better, all that kind of stuff. So keeping a car and not building a fresh car every time you're doing a drag and drive, that's my suggestion every time. All right, here we go. Last little bit of stuff. All right, so we talked about Monday Morning Racer. Guys, huge news. Sorry, I should have probably led with this too. Brian Loans, the man, Brian Loans is coming on the Drag and Drive show Wednesday night. If you watched last Wednesday, we covered his podcast from the 92 Hot Rod Magazine Streetcar Shootout. Y'all, he's coming on to talk about it. We talked about it for about 30 or 40 minutes, me and Eric. And listen, I sent you a bunch of questions. I'm like, man, please tell me this stuff, or can you come on? He said, I would love to come on and talk to the followers. So y'all, I'm so excited about him being here. So I'm going to make that post officially here probably tomorrow or Monday. So once I do that, I want you guys to think about the questions you have from his Dorkomotive episode 34, the fastest streetcar in America podcast. If you haven't listened to it, it's awesome. 2 hours, 15 minutes, really, really highly edited, high quality podcast, y'all. It's amazing. Please listen to that. We go live at 8 p.m. Eastern with a little bit of intro and then right into him. We're going to try and have him on for 15, 20, 30 minutes, maybe if he'll stay. And then if anybody else knows Mike Finnegan, please tag him and tell him I've messaged him, because our next conversation after that is about the Mike Finnegan Hot Rod Drag Week This Is Hell video series. He put 2 videos out, more than 5 hours of Hot Rod Drag Week and their struggle from the week. Again, highly edited, high quality video. I love seeing this kind of stuff coming from the drag and drive community. Y'all, this is what will take us to the next level, is these videos that are of people telling their story. So if you're watching this right now or later, please drop your channel in the comments, make a comment, give us a link to a playlist on your channel if you have done drag and drive events and you have recorded those. I want people that are at home that haven't yet attended to be able to watch this stuff and see, 1, the struggles, but 2, the fun that we have during these events. And as you attend events this year, make sure you're getting the shots of the parking lot. Make sure you're getting the shots of the hotel at 3 a.m. when people are still standing out there, and put those in your video. Let's document these journeys. Let's have some fun with it. And guys, lastly, before we hit our 30-minute time limit here, that we just did, I'm sorry to Sweet Patina. I did not finish the Built for Drag and Drive segment this week. But guys, if you haven't done it yet, please visit sweetpatina.com. You can use discount code DND57. Y'all, they have all kinds of stuff. Some of the coolest car apparel out there. Drag and Drive on their listen, they love Drag and Drive. They're coming this year. They just don't know to which event yet. In their 57 LS swapped wagon that they've put more than 40,000 miles on. Listen, these guys drive it all the time. All right, here we go. We got some names here. Since we're over, we're going to go for another 2 minutes here. Drag Addicts on YouTube. Not a lot of content, but my son is trying. Yes, today we work on a new D&D build for Race Week. Awesome. That's great. Yeah, video will never convey how awesome the events are. That's 100% true, but at least we can provide people with content that they can consume about these events. And with 20 plus events in 2023, guys, YouTube, I feel like probably changed the Drag and Drive community. It brought more attention to it. So now it's our opportunity to take this to the next level and see the new round of people that we can get in here. So, oh my gosh. Animal. We're trying to build a car from scratch with 30 days to go and still run a 7s average on sick week. That's probably Calvin Nelson right there talking about the Volvo. Yep. And then we'll leave with this one right here, guys. Make drag racing great again. Thank you very much, Nico. He is a good y'all. I will see you on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for the Drag and Drive show, which is a 2-hour episode that is long format. We allow longer conversations with guests, and we talk about topics in depth. This is more hard hitting, fast stuff. So I'm already over my time limit, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you then.